All right, crew, this is the third part of the video. I'm going to turn off my webcam here, but so we just talked about how when we read through this first part of the story, right, we were able to pull out the central ideas in the first sentences, and then we found some details to support it, and those were already down here in the chart. And when you do the little math problem of adding the central idea plus supporting detail, it equals a summary, right? So the summary that we have here is that the Roman Empire left signs of its presence in Europe, and the aqueduct in Segovia, Spain, and the roots of the Spanish language are two signs of Rome's lasting impact on Spain. So it says by summarizing a text's central ideas and supporting details, you can check your understanding of and remember the most important points. So let's move on to page 12 here. And of course, it will take some time. But so for this one, what we're looking at is it's called Understand English Word Origins, and it's an essay, right? So this would be like something that I might have you guys write or somebody else might write. And it's about etymology, which is something that I really think is really cool because I'm a big old nerd, but I think it's really cool anyway. So this is written by Pilar Rivera. Some names of objects originate from the object's appearance. You know what a cloak is, a sleeveless garment worn draped over the shoulders, right? So it's kind of like something with like this big hooded robe, right? So now close your eyes and picture the shape of a cloak. Cloak comes from an old French word, cloque, which means bell. So the name of the object was a transference from the shape of the object, right? So in old French, right, what they would call a bell, they would call it cloque. And so when people saw the shape of a cloak, when they saw the shape of the cloak and they saw the shape of the bell, they're like, oh, those are pretty much the same shape. So when the cloak became a thing, they called it the same word that they use for bell because of its shape, right? So some word origins, or etymologies is what that's called, are fascinating because they tell us what an object used to be. Think about what a ballot is. That's something that's really important right now, right? A ballot is the list of candidates that we use when we vote to choose elected officials. Ballots are mostly electronic now, but for several centuries, they were paper documents. How did people vote before paper was readily available? Well, they dropped pebbles or small balls in one of the two boxes or piles to choose leaders or to make community decisions. Ballot comes from the Italian word palote or palote. I don't know how you say it. I don't speak Italian, but it's which itself is a diminutive form of palla, meaning ball. So the word ballot, right? It comes from this Italian word palote or palote, right? However you say it, and that comes from the word palla, which means ball, right? So if basically the word for pebbles or marbles or ball, right? That word in Italian kind of bled on over into English, where it became the word ballot, and that's why we call them ballots, right? So explore how to answer this question. What information should be included in a summary of this portion of the essay? When creating a summary, identify the text's central idea, which may only be implied, and the important supporting details. So let's start off here and try to come up with some supporting details. Or you know what? They give us the summary. So let's take a look at that. The history of words is fascinating. The origins of some words, like cloak, are based on their shape, while others relate to what an object once was. Ballot, which means ball, is a great example of this. Okay, so from their summary, I know that a summary is basically central idea plus supporting detail plus supporting detail. So let me see if I can pull apart these sentences and figure out where they go. So the first sentence, the history of words is fascinating. Well, that kind of sounds like it summarizes the rest of it, right? Or that maybe that words have diverse origins, like where they come from, right? So I might say for my central idea, the history of words is diverse and fascinating, to use their word, right? So the central idea that I might put in here is that the history of words is diverse and fascinating. That sounds like it would be a central idea. And then these two other things, right? The word cloak coming from the shape of a bell, and ballot meaning the Italian word for ball. That would be my two supporting details that I'll type in here in the next video.